Now, from Eastern Carolina's Weather Authority, WITN News at 6.
A suspect believed to be involved in the death of two men outside a Greenville nightclub has turned himself in. That breaking news in a moment. 2 people are dead and 3 others critically injured, according to multiple reports, after a fireworks truck on Ocracoke Island explodes. We will have local reaction. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Baldwin. We begin with breaking news. WITN has learned the double murder suspect James Earl Richardson has turned himself in to police. Happened around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Richardson turned himself in, we understand, with Greenville Police, his mother, and members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference by his side. Richardson is accused of gunning down Landon Blakely and ECU student Andrew Kirby, a downtown restaurant manager, in front of the Other Place nightclub on East 5th Street. Rufus Huggins, president of the SCLC, had this to say following Richardson turning himself in. WITN will have more details on WITN.com and WITN News at 11. If you've been on our website, then you've been following the fireworks explosion in Ocracoke all day. A truck carrying fireworks for the now canceled show tonight exploded just after 9 o'clock this morning. An 18-wheeler loaded with fireworks exploded near the ferry docks. Multiple media outlets are saying at least 2 people are dead and 3 people are critically injured. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office says 2 people were airlifted to Pitt County Memorial Hospital and 2 were taken to Chapel Hill. At this point, it is not clear what set off the fireworks inside. The ferry service to and from the island has been shut down. Only emergency crews allowed on the island. We asked people to send us pictures from the scene, and many did just that. You're about to hear from people who heard and saw the explosion on the island. The extradition hearing is scheduled for August 30th. An assault case for a former NBA star in our state is delayed until next month. Court officials said today that Jason Williams' case is set to pick back up on August 27th. Williams was charged with assault in May after authorities said he punched someone in the face at a Raleigh nightclub. He is also facing retrial on a charge of reckless manslaughter in the 2002 shooting death of his driver in his mansion in New Jersey. Williams has been free on bail since the 2002 shooting. He was released on $1,000 bond in the Raleigh case. Williams played 9 seasons in the NBA for the New Jersey Nets and Philadelphia 76ers before retiring in 2000. A mixed reaction to the government's new Cash for Clunkers program, with some dealers saying they're seeing an increase in sales. Others are saying it's not helping very much. The program, which is officially called the Car Allowance Rebate Program, or CARS, went into effect over the weekend. The program offers rebates of $3,500 to $4,500 for car shoppers who turn in their old vehicles for more fuel-efficient ones. Nearly 20,000 car dealers have signed up for the Department of Transportation to participate in the deal. Today, the government released figures showing it had dispensed about $17 million, accounting for 4,026 new vehicle sales. Congress has set aside $1 billion for the program, which ends November 1st or earlier if the money runs out.
Michael Baldwin is following this story from the point of escape, Edgecombe County Detention Center in Tarboro. He joins us now live. Michael?
Hey, Natalie, we haven't had a chance to speak to the sheriff, James Knight, as of yet. We're trying to figure out exactly how these men escaped. What we know at this point is they escaped through an exterior door. I talked to a sheriff's deputy who said that that exterior door he believes is in the back. Now, from our vantage point, obviously from here, you cannot see that. One of the suspects talked to a news photographer, Natalie, and he told them he had no idea that they were going to be robbing a bank. Now, the 3 men that were captured in West Virginia just outside the governor's mansion were Tony Autrip, David Cox, and James Butler. Now, Autrip, Natalie, as you mentioned, was featured on America's Most Wanted. He was also on the top 15 most wanted list for the U.S. Marshals. He has escaped authorities before. He did it in 1997. He also did it in 2007. Autrip was captured in Pennsylvania after a 5-month chase. Autrip has been accused of robbing banks in West Virginia, Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia. Now, as we mentioned, he did speak with a news photographer earlier and gave an impromptu interview. Here's what he had to say. Now, Autrip is supposed to be serving time in Colorado in a high-security prison. We don't know exactly why he was transported to North Carolina. Again, we're trying to get information from James Knight. He said he will make himself available later on, so we will get it to you as soon as we get it. Now, the picture that you see here is what their garage used to look like. Now we move forward a day later. As I get out of the way, obviously, as you can see, a very different picture. To say Karen has a few kids would be an understatement. There's 17-year-old John, 15-year-old Scott, 14-year-old Kent, 14-year-old Kurt, 10-year-old Nick, and 9-year-old Ben. But wait, I'm not done. There's 8-year-old Luke, 8-year-old Leah, 4-year-old Jake, 2-year-old Jude, and this little bundle of joy is 3-week-old Brett. Octomom's got nothing on the Colzel family. Karen says every time she tells friends and family this is it, they don't believe her.
I guess they're used to it. Now I guess they're always expecting, every time we were like, well, this is probably it, then they're expecting us to have another, which we end up having.
The Greenville PD would not go into the relationship that Stevenson and the 4-year-old child had, but they did tell us this. They believe that Stevenson passed along to the child a sexually transmitted disease. Vietnam, a time when America was at war, a time when many men dodged their way out of fighting for our country, while other men, and at least one teenager from Goldsboro, jumped right into the fray.
At the age of 14, he enlisted in the Marine Corps.
His tombstone now sits in the Elmwood Cemetery in Goldsboro. Who is he? He is Dan Bullock, son of Brother and Alma Bullock. After his mother died in 1965, Brother moved his family to Brooklyn, New York. Just 3 years later, Bullock, then 14 years old, altered his birth certificate so he can enlist in the Marine Corps and go fight in the war. Cities across the country are now giving out one-way tickets to give homeless people the old heave-ho. Is it a real solution or an out-of-sight, out-of-mind quick fix? Alina Chow reports. The program is voluntary, and so far families have been sent to 24 states and 5 continents. You ever text while you're driving? Don't do that. Laws against texting and driving could become as common as seatbelt laws. A new bill in the Senate would require states to ban the habit. A new study says drivers are 23 times more likely to crash when they're texting. Jason Carroll shows us the real dangers involved.
And has excerpts from that interview and joins us with what Richardson had to say. Michael?
Christina and Dave, there are still some unanswered questions, like if Richardson is innocent of double murder, then who is responsible? James Richardson is asking his supporters to pray for him, saying he's locked down for 23 hours a day. He says the people that know him know his character, and he says not only is he innocent, but he plans to walk free. If you were tuned into 1340 a.m. in Greenville Tuesday morning, then it's likely you heard this.
I just want everybody to pray for me and just know that I'm innocent. And I don't know how many times I can repeat that I'm innocent, but I will be walking out here.
It is the first time we've heard from accused double murder suspect James Richardson. Richardson is in the Pitt County Detention Center on charges that he shot and killed Andrew Kirby and Landon Blakely back in June outside the Other Place nightclub in Greenville.
I want y'all to pray also for the victims' family, pray for the sick, the homeless, pray for the president, pray for the teachers. They keep a positive attitude and stay driven to reach these kids.
And the boy ran to his trunk and got the gun. He's in an older white BMW, and he went back through. I left. I don't know. I just left.
I was walking away from a fight at the OP. I saw a black male cock a gun, get in his car, drive the wrong way towards the stop shot, and I heard gunshots right afterwards and ran him out.
The murder sparked outrage, and many wanted a larger police presence in downtown Greenville. A candlelight vigil and peace walk were held for the victim's family. When asked by the host what really happened that night, Richardson chose not to answer.
I don't want to really go into anything dealing with my case right now.
Yes, sir.
Right now, you know what I'm saying, as far as everything that's going on, I don't really want to go into too much with my case.
Okay.
I just want to just state that I'm innocent, and I want everybody out there to let them know that I'm innocent. Because a lot of things, I think, have been, from what the media said, to newspapers, to people. Nobody have heard my side yet.
And we still don't know his side, something we may only get if he takes a stand in court. WYTN did request an on-camera interview with James Richardson, which he agreed to, but we were denied by the Pitt County Sheriff's Office. Richardson had a court appearance last week, but never made it to court. He says that was his lawyer's responsibility to make sure he got there. Richardson has now fired that attorney, is currently seeking a new one. We also understand he has asked the Sheriff's Office to allow him to wear a suit to court instead of the orange jumpsuit. We understand that request was denied. And while Richardson declares his innocence, Greenville police arrested him back in June because they said the evidence points to Richardson as the shooter. Dave and Christine, back to you.
Good job there with one catch. More after the break.
You know what time it is?
You tell me.
It's time for the 3, the 4, the 5 coming at you.